Hello, good evening, people. Welcome to Two
Hola.
Up Top. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. I'm Gav Mack. I'm not as tired as I normally am because she's sleeping a little bit better. I'm joined with Stephen Cotton, who's ran the ship beautifully alongside Ed Hall. How are you, gentlemen?
I'm all right. I'm kind of looking forward to a month off.
I was going to say something then, but I decided not to, and I'll wait until later on in the show before we go into people having time off, i.e. teams. You can subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/2uptopfootball, and you can follow us on all social media at 2uptopfootball. We're nearly on 1,000 followers on Instagram. Is that right, Ed?
Yeah, every time we get close to it, everyone keeps unfollowing.
Stop it, people.
I understand, but come on, just give us that 1,000. Do us at 2,000. Do us at 1 million. All right.
Yeah, do us at 1 million.
Unfollow when it's a triple six-digit figure that we won't notice you've unfollowed. Like, come on,
exactly.
Play the game. Play the game.
Do you know what? Might have to follow a couple of people back.
No way.
No,
that's bait, man. That's bait. That's bait.
Yeah.
That's what they want you to do.
Cotton's been smashing out the FIFA as well. 100% Cotton.
Yeah, I'm going to have 100% rage, and we're going to have 100% 4 weeks of it by the looks of it. So, and the thing is as well. So I haven't been playing weekend league, which is the ultimate rage inducer. But now I've got my weekends free. There's going to be 4 weekends. I'm going to stream all 30 games. We'll hit together a compilation. So if you don't want to watch me play all 30 games, we'll put all the best bits. And all the best bits are going to be me literally having an aneurysm, blowing a gasket, going red in the face, because it's bound to make me literally cry as a grown man. So that is something to look forward to in lockdown.
One team that wasn't looking forward to things this weekend was Crystal Palace. That's what I would say. It was all right Friday's game. We're going Friday's game. This game actually wound me up, if I'm honest, because I was just in my own little world. And I was like, I didn't put any wedge on. And then it was already 1-0 to Wolves.
I'll text you as well. Do you know what? Before you start like analysing the game, I understand that they were 8th and 9th, and they were on the same points difference, same points, sorry. Wolves going into a game at home against Crystal Palace were 21-20. Now, gamble responsibly. When the fun stops. Wolves against Palace at 21-20. I'm literally annoyed that I only put the amount I put on it. Like, I should have just put the whole furlough scheme on this game.
Put a month's wedge on it. Bam.
With how negative and how defensive Crystal Palace have been under Hodgson, was there really any other outcome?
Surely not. So the game finished 2-0. The goals came from Nuri and Podence in the first half. Milivojevic got sent off in the pretty much at the death, really. But let's be honest. Wolves. I had an expectation of Wolves at the beginning of the season. I thought they were going to be, doing something a little bit more special. They haven't really kicked on from the end of lockdown last season and into this season, but when you see Wolves play the way that they did here, does this then give you a little bit of hope as to what they could potentially achieve this season?
Yeah, I think me and Alex, when we did the preview show, I said that I think that Wolves not having Europe is detrimental to them, because I think they're a roll-on team. They like the form. They like rolling on games. It's been very stop-start from this season. I know they're sitting a lot comfortably than a lot of other teams at the minute, but I think they're just so hit and miss at the minute. Like, even beating Palace 2-0, when I say, it was easy money, I still had to think about it, and I was like, Wolves at the minute, are they really hitting the levels they should be hitting or could be hitting? But I still think, looking forward for Wolves this season, I still think they could be among. Well, I say there's not even a top 6 anymore with the way this season's going. There's going to be a top 15, mate. Like, everyone's so bunched tight together.
I like that he said top 15, because like Man United are currently in 15th.
I haven't seen the table today. I haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't.
He said top 20.
Top 19.
Hey,
top 19.
Hey, we're 3 places away from relegation. Leave us alone. But yeah, I think Wolves look really, really, really good in this game, and they could have been 3-4-0 up at half-time.
Ed, what do you think of Wolves and their aspirations for this season?
Like a few teams, I always wonder if they can rely or get the result without their star player. I know Raul Jimenez was playing, but the fact he didn't score said a lot. I think they've been missing that creative spark in Jota since his move to Liverpool. I was thinking perhaps too much pressure is put on Jimenez. Jimenez seemed to be the player who was trying to create and score. And as you said, I don't think Traore's been in the greatest of form since the opening day of the season. When he came on, he looked pretty poor. But Wolves played well, I thought. Wolves did a professional home performance, and it put them up to third place. I know that no one had played a game yet, but with the way the league's going, Wolves had backed themselves to fix whatever issues they were having and push on.
But before we move on to where in the table and stuff, I just want to pick up on something Ed said. Traore not being in great form, I think, and I'm probably going to get absolutely shot at, I honestly think Adama Traore is one of the biggest myths in football in the last few years, man. Like, don't get me wrong, he's very, very, very good at attacking defenses when they're tired. Like, he's the fastest man in the world. He's built like basically he's Akinfenwa that's fast. But genuinely, we've said this before, I don't know whether he's got much end product, whether it's a cross, whether it's a finish, whether it's the final pass. I honestly don't know whether he's the real deal. Like even in the transfer window, people were touting him for Barcelona and stuff.
Well, he came from Barcelona, didn't he?
Yeah. They're talking about him going back, and I'm like, this is the same guy that comes on after 60 minutes for Wolves. Like, I might be talking out of pocket, but I just don't see him in that category of players.
Well, I'm hoping that baby oil is classed as an essential item, because if it's not, then he's going to get found out a lot in the next few weeks whilst lockdown is on our streets all over again. But
sorry, I don't think
it's just quick.
He was top class. I think it's just he's a threat. He brings 2 players on him, which creates space for the other players. He's a constant threat. I don't think he's a well-beater.
If I'm a left back and I'm blowing out my arse with 15 minutes to go and I see Adama Traore coming on, I'm panicking. And I'm really hoping that the opposite, my manager is thinking, right, I'm playing left back. We need to account for this person and double up on him. Because if you double up on him, he isn't going anywhere. One shows, one goes with him. You know, just or just stand off him a little bit and then just let him run into you, and you're gonna. Well, you probably get hurt, but you're more likely win the ball because he hasn't got any skill to get around you.
But at the end of last season, he was literally billed as like unplayable. Like he was literally like, he was literally like, is he the great? There was talks about is he the best wide man in the Prem? Is he this? Is he that? And it's like everyone needs to chill, man. But the first goal was it Nouri? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
He scored on his debut, and I'm pretty sure, does that make him the youngest French debutant in the Premier League to score on their debut?
God, that sounds like some mad like NFL style stat. Let's try and make something out of it.
Come on, NFL boy.
I think it was. I think he was the youngest French debutant to score on their debut.
The most winningest French
man. Yeah.
After 6 games in the history of mankind.
It was a good finish. It was really smart. The cross came in, kind of just overlooped everyone. The defenders left it not out. I don't think they left it out of choice. It just went over everyone. But it's come to your man on the edge of the box. It's bouncing, and he's kind of like just struck it almost into the ground. But it's just so crisp that it's just the pace on its beat the keeper. It's a really good goal.
I want to talk about Southampton because Southampton, behind Liverpool and Man City, have won the most points this calendar year, which is crazy, isn't it? And they won 4-3 away to Aston Villa earlier on today, which is mad. And the reason why I've gone to this game in particular is because Ed mentioned something about missing star players or star players not performing to the level. Now, Southampton were already 3-0 up before Danny Ings got involved And I thought that was really important. The fact that they don't have to rely on Danny Ings to score all the goals for them. The goals came from Vestergaard after 20 minutes. Ward-Prowse.
Vestergaard again.
Cracking header.
Vestergaard again, yeah.
Yeah, he loves it. Ward-Prowse on his birthday as well, scoring a brace, including one absolutely sublime free kick. Danny Ings scores towards the end, but
2 sublime free kicks.
Well, one was better than the other. I think number 2 is slightly better than number 1. Number one was nice though.
I'll tell you what, though, Ward-Prowse was playing football bingo because not only was his birthday, within the first 30 minutes he'd been booked, got an assist, and scored 2 goals. Now, if there was someone out there that fancied James Ward-Prowse booking assist and goal, answers on a postcard, write in, we'll send you a T-shirt or something, because you have to prove it. You have to prove it. I want to see some bet slips because other than that, no, because if anybody sends me a screenshot of that as a bet slip, I'm sending the FBI to your gaff. MI6 are coming.
We're checking your hard drive, boys and girls. Definitely are. Tyrone Mings, he scored, as well as Grealish and Watkins. Grealish gave Watkins the penalty to take, and it made it a very hairy last few moments. But Southampton are they're in real good form at the moment, and they've also got a brilliant record against Aston Villa, despite how well Aston Villa have started off this season. Now, Ed, I'll come to you first. Do you think that this might be? We all know that the Liverpool game was a shock. It was a freak result. But since then, Villa have looked pretty shady. Do you think that they've shot their load really early and they're on a decline, or do you think it just might be a little bit of a dip in form?
I don't think they're on a decline. I mean, first off, praise to Southampton. I'll start with them. Let's not forget, even though it was 4-3, they were 4-0 up before Aston Villa got their first goal. It took 4 goals to go past Villa before they started playing well. Southampton are a team on the I said to Cotton last week when he said perhaps a shock result, they beat Everton. And I was surprised by that statement because I think Southampton are probably just as good and have the same sort of arsenal, perhaps minus the James Rodriguez and Allen. But over to Aston Villa. Aston Villa, I think they were averaging 2.5 goals a game. But that included the shock 7-2 win over Liverpool, which definitely brings that average up. If you take that away, I'm not sure what it is, but you expect it to be a goal a game.
Out a little bit.
Exactly that. But they still play good attacking football, despite the fact that they were 4-0 down. They played really well, I thought, to score them 3 goals. They were at their throats. Jack Grealish finally looks like he has a dance partner in Barkley, so I'm happy for him. But there's still questions defensively.
Can we have a few minutes talking about the resurgence of Ross Barkley? Because when he went to Chelsea, we all thought it was a stupid move at the time for him. We thought it was English quota signing. We all of us thought, like, come on, you're not going to go over there and play any football, and he kind of didn't. So when he went to Villa, even then I thought, you're going to be struggling down there. That's a relegation stopping signing, and he's been unbelievable. And apparently it's because Dean Smith said to him when the conversation that made him join Villa was Dean Smith said, we're going to get you in the Euro squad. Your performances for Villa will get you in the Euro squad. And at the minute, can you argue against it?
Well, the thing is, like, there was always a lot of conversation about the way he was at Everton. He was coached, but not properly, if that makes sense. And so therefore he's able to have that sort of freedom. It's like, you make sure you do this little bit here, but the rest of the time just go out and fill your boots. Whereas when he was at Chelsea,
They put pressure on him to be Rooney number 2 as well at Everton. They were like, he's the blueprint sort of thing.
Well, do you blame them for saying that? Really?
You can see it. You can kind of see it, 100%.
Look at the things that Rooney was doing when he first came through at Everton and before he went to Man United, because he wasn't a goal scorer at Everton. Yeah, he scored a couple of great goals, but he wasn't a goal scorer. He was sort of moved into that forward line when he went to Man United. Before then, he was a very decent attacking midfielder who was able to drive at people, have that air of unpredictability. When he goes to Chelsea, That's been stripped back and he's not been allowed to do it. So him now being at Aston Villa, it's almost like he's found his zone and is able to relax more and just play football and enjoy the game again. And I think that's what was missing. He wasn't enjoying it. And the fact he's doing it now, I think is going to reap benefits. And yes, he is playing himself into a Euro squad for 2021.
Well, he's playing. That's the most important thing. Like, how many games did he play for Chelsea? How many games did he start for Chelsea? It's one of those things. Listen, we know that certain teams, if a player starts performing well for another team in the Prem, sometimes it's a case of we want him so you don't have him. Or in the Barkley aspect, it was kind of like English quota and we'll take him off your hands, Everton. Same when Danny Drinkwater went from Leicester to Chelsea. What was the point in that? What player or club? Who got anything out of that? Nothing. But it was English quota. It's okay. He's been half decent for you. Let's get him off your books. And I think that was the case with Barkley. But now he's gone to a squad where he's playing week in, week out. And like you said, they're bringing the best out in him. He looks great, man. Like,
he won't go to the Euros. He won't go to the Euros because
why not, Ed?
Because he's not, okay, I'll tell you. Because I'll tell you why he's not going to play him. Because based on the same logic, he won't bring players like Patrick Bamford. He is the second best midfielder at Aston Villa behind Jack Grealish, and you'd have to, even if you had Gareth Southgate's family hostage, he still wouldn't play Jack Grealish in the Euros. That's a fact. No, you're right. And he's number two. We talk about Ross Barkley has good attributes, but Ross Barkley, when he was at his Everton side, he was the standout player. Was there many others with him? Lukaku? Yes. But bar that one player, let's have a look at this Everton side now. Does Ross Barkley get ahead of Allen? Does he get ahead of James Rodriguez?
Well, the difference is the reason. No, the difference between the Grealish idea and with Ross Barkley is really well loved by Southgate. So the fact that he's got that with him, it's got that sort of Mason Mount about him.
Okay.
In terms of the love. In terms of the love from Southgate.
You've literally, so I didn't want to interrupt, but I was going to wait until I asked the question, but you brought it up there. So here's the question. I'm going to ask Gav and I'm going to ask you, Ed. Mason Mount or Ross Barkley for England? If you had to play one of them for England right now, which one would you play? Mason Mount or Ross Barkley?
Right this second, I'll play Barkley.
Right now, Barkley.
On form of late.
I'd say Barkley right now.
Overall, I would say Mount.
So that's the thing. Like the Euros, it isn't crazy. It isn't crazy to think that. Okay, so Barkley has a great season and Mount doesn't have a very good season because they've got Ziyech and they've brought the players in. They brought in. It's not unfathomable to think that Barkley could go to the Euros rather than Mount. But
that's the thing. Grealish isn't liked by Southgate. It's obvious.
Yeah, no. That's what.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm
having this conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's mad. No, it's mad.
Because Grealish for me is the first name on the team sheet, if I'm honest, behind Kane. But Barkley, honestly, how many times was Barkley picked for England? For no reason whatsoever. He's literally bench warming at Chelsea, yet he ends up starting for England. And to be fair, his England form is pretty good. So I'm gonna look
at this real quickly before I ask. But is Jack Grealish left-footed?
No, he's right-footed, but he's very, very good with his left peg. Let's
England
move
international
on.
To another.
Yeah.
One England international to another. Oh, okay, yeah, it's all about Raheem Sterling then, because he let everyone down at the weekend. Not intentionally. No, I didn't put it on. I was brave. I've been done by it already. But another England international did score, and it was a pretty nice strike. Sheffield United 0, Manchester City 1. The goal came from Kyle Walker.
Can we just talk a real quick second about now? I'll watch the game. I even watched the highlights back just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But I saw a lot of plaudits going to Ferran Torres playing up front. And even on Match of the Day, they said he did pretty well for playing up front. I mean, I watched that game and I saw him miss like 3 or 4 like gilt-edged chances. Like,
he should have scored at least
like
2 of those.
one-on-ones, like the lot. And they were still being like, oh, he's done pretty well to get in there. Like he's playing up front, man. Like he should be in that position anyway. Like I don't like they literally gassed off him as if he was just like the second coming of Aguero. Like I honestly don't get it. Like Gav, do you think Ferran Torres had a great game?
No, he missed 4 decent opportunities to score. He should have scored at least 2 of them, as I said. I thought he had a good game. You know, he was dragging the defenders out. You know, he was being a bit of a nuisance in the box, which is exactly what you want. But he's not a striker, so maybe the blood got rushed to his head too quickly. It needed a number 9 in that game. Do
you know what? Right,
played Delap.
I know
he's a kid, but he's a striker.
Not even just that. I'm not Pep Guardiola, right? If you're going to play anyone as a striker that's not a striker, but it's a winger, mate, Mahrez is a false 9. I'd
never play him there
to see that. I'd pay $14.99 on a box office to see that. I wouldn't, but yeah, mate, Mahrez is a false 9. Mahrez is a false 9. Like, mate, he's got the pace, he's got the finishing, he can play the final ball in if the wingers overlap him. Give that a go. Ferran Torres up front.
I think they're all pretty poor options up front, in truth. I think if he's playing Torres there's a reason Mahrez isn't there. This is Pep Guardiola we're talking about. I know he can be very stubborn at times, but he's had Mahrez in his squad now since he's turned up, since his full tenure there. And he's never once played Mahrez in that position, to my knowledge.
Okay.
I could be talking about. I think the problem lies, City, in more of their build-up play. I know Phil Foden didn't start the game. Yes, it's probably a bit more for squad rotation. I understand that, but
got a Champions League in the week.
It's really weird to say this, but they play so differently with that young player in Phil Foden. Their game is different with him. I mean, he scored last week against West Ham
after coming off the bench as well.
Exactly that. You know, he looks a right talent. Sheffield United, I am starting to feel worried for. I say that I've been worried since second week.
I was going to say
they're going down. We all know Chris Wilder. That's the issue. We need to almost strip our love back from Chris Wilder and look at the bigger picture.
If you look at mine and Alex's preview show, when we did game week 2, when me and Ed did a show a few weeks ago, literally our picks for going down were Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield United. I'm telling you what, you can't tell me any different. I know Burnley are down there in the treble, but they've been there.
They'll be fine.
Exactly, they've been there for 10 years, or whatever. But like going back to the Man City thing, how do you not have a backup striker when you've spent? If you want to talk, I hate talking about finances and whatever, but we're going to talk about it because everyone else talks about other teams spending. How have City not got a half decent striker other than Aguero or Jesus? How have you not got one? There's no excuse for that. It's the same. It's been 4 or 5 years that they've not had a decent centre back, with Company being injured, then going and retiring and stuff. How have you still not sorted this out? I
think they've got. Luckily, right now, I think they have got the right back. The right pairing at centre half. I still think they're not quite sure what's going on.
Who are you saying that is? Laporte and
Ruben Diaz. I think Ruben Diaz is boss. I love him. He is so old school, no nonsense. Will chop you and clear the ball to touch, and I love that.
Which goes back to our Barkley question. So now Ake has joined City because technically he's homegrown because of how long he's played in the Premier League. Is Ake ever going to play a Premier League game now?
Yeah, Ake fills in at left back. He would also be able to come in at centre back. They've got a lot of fixtures going on.
With the injury record as well, we'll probably play most of the season.
Yeah, exactly. It's more John Stones I'm worried for, because John Stones doesn't even play when they have big injury issues at the back. He is still on the bench. They would rather play Rodri and Fernandinho.
And do you know what? we need a weekly John Stones, Phil Jones segment because bless them, both of them were tipped. They were both tipped to be the tippity top, and they can't even get a game.
Before we move on, I do want to say I think Sheffield United will stay up purely based on the fact they're not getting hammered 3-0, 4-0 every week. They are still in the game for the full 90 minutes. But they're still defending as a unit, and they still have a young, really talented prospect in Ryan Brewster to come through.
But they're not scoring goals, man.
But that's what I mean.
Last season,
7 games into the season.
Even last season.
Yeah, exactly. Last season, their top goal scorers were Lys Mousset and Ollie McBurney. They both scored 6.
Oh, was it 6? I thought it was 3, but yeah.
Yeah, it's no. Remember Mousset went on that mad run where he scored like 5 and 6. It's like, oh my god, Lys Mousset is the real deal.
But the problem now is they're not even creating those chances. And last year, they had Henderson. They had it seemed like they had a much tighter back line, and they were like just buzzing off the confidence of being in the Prem. Now,
it just reminds me of Birmingham. You know, when Birmingham had that season when they had Joe Hart in goal, and Joe Hart kept them in the league that year. Bearing in mind, Birmingham came 9th that season, but the number of clean sheets wasn't down to the defence. The defence was pretty solid. They had like Liam Ridgewell and Scott Dan at the back, but the real person that was keeping them in was not that
the year they won the
World
Cup? Oh,
no, okay. They weren't the following season. They got relegated that season. They beat Arsenal in the League Cup final.
And hold on. Obafemi Martins gave the greatest post-match interview ever. He said, "It was the easiest goal I ever scored."
But it was the season before, and that it's the same sort of thing which is happening with Sheffield United right now, and I'm very worried about them. But you mentioned about features. Talk about features. It's time for this.
What
are Everton?
Everton.
Newcastle 2, Everton 1. Right, before this game, we saw something very interesting, didn't we? We saw that the goalkeeper had changed, and it wasn't Jordan Pickford between the sticks at all. So what brought that on?
Because Ancelotti actually has a footballing brain.
And Ancelotti said it's nothing but football. It's nothing for football reasons. It's more he's fatigued.
I think he's literally said, right, especially this week, you've had a couple of Liverpool players, couple of pundits be still very critical about Pickford for something that happened 37 weeks ago. Or was it 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. But for something that happened a while ago.
Many a candle has been lit.
Yeah, exactly. They're still chatting about it. And I genuinely just think that Ancelotti... I'd drop Pickford because I don't think he's great anyway, but I think he's done the right thing here by just being like, look, there's a lot on you at the minute. If you make a mistake in this game, anything happens in this game, people are baying for blood sort of thing. So I think he's just like giving him a little chill time, like... He'd have taken him to one side and said to him, "You're not getting dropped because I think your performances are bad, although he should do." But I think he's taken him to one side. I think he's taken him to one side and just been like, "Look, it's been a heavy few weeks. We're just going to let you rest, and this is the game to do it."
The goalkeeper is actually it's Robert Olsen. He is on loan from Roma. Now he wasn't really. Starting, but did he? When he did play for Roma, was he okay? I mean, I haven't watched a lot of Serie A football over the last couple of years.
So we had Alisson, or we got rid of Alisson, and then we had
got rid of Alisson. Don't need him. No good.
And it fucking off you go. And then we had Olmo, and now we've got Lopez. Yeah, he wasn't great for us either. He was never great today.
Start, fair enough. Ed, Newcastle, great room for them.
It's a fantastic win for them, but you know they wasn't coming against the Everton side we've come to know at these opening games of the season. Newcastle, I don't know what to make of Newcastle because
no one ever does.
No, but it's true though because you never see Newcastle on your fixture list and go, "Whoa, they've got him." Even Callum Wilson, I think he's just he's their penalty taker as well. I think he scored majority of his goals from the penalty spot this year.
He did today.
Yeah,
He scored from the spot today.
So I don't think Callum Wilson. They all give you like a 6 out of 10 all round. All of them give you a 6 out of 10. And if the
Maximum will give you a 9 out of 10
okay,
or a 5.
No. He's like but his thing is kind of like what I think about Traore. I go, oh, he's got good attributes, but he's not really a star player, is he? Like he's their star player, but he's not a star player. But I think with Everton, it just proved that they have just a good starting 11. If you take some clinical pieces out of that, then the machine doesn't work at all. They missed James Rodriguez today to break a defensive unit on Newcastle. I don't know what they were playing at though. Playing Andre Gomez and
Fabian Delph. Gomez, Delph, and Sigurdsson.
Sigurdsson, like that is they're all pretty much the same player. I mean,
I'd say Delph is more defensive minded. They're also central, aren't they?
Yeah.
None of them will be able to sort of stretch and play a little bit wider.
So they're all set to mix
on top of each other, and then Sigurdsson he sits in front. But do you know what? Actually, I'll sort of fit that back a little bit. I'll sort of side with Ed on that because Sigurdsson, we all know Sigurdsson as the man in behind, does all that sort of stuff. But over the last couple of years, he plays so deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's almost like he's trying to play the deep line playmaker, but he hasn't got the vision anymore.
Yeah, the one person I'd take out of that grouping, though, to be fair, like Delph does play like CDM sometimes, but he has filled in at left back. Like he's not as one dimensional as Gomez and Sigurdsson. But yeah, to play all three of them is pretty crazy. I mean, Sigurdsson, Tottenham brought into that hype a couple of years ago. I didn't. I still don't buy into it.
I did. I'll be honest. I did. And I was thinking, oi, got a player on hands here.
Yeah, it does happen to the best of us.
Pickford, I think, because imagine if the goalkeeper come in, say 3 penalties, scored a goal.
Yeah.
You know, that could absolutely have destroyed his mental health. Never mind, like he's been. So I think the real winner is Pickford. But back to Newcastle, they'll be proud of that result. But if you want to
both of Newcastle goals were penalties, weren't they?
No, the other one was tapping.
Were they not? It was Wilson penalty and sorry.
Seen this yet. The second one was a tap in, put the game to bed. But then Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you know, we'd already had the late drama in the Villa Southampton game today, and then he scores in the 90+ minute. And I remember it was in January, wasn't it, where Everton were leading 2-0, and on the 91st minute, Everton was still leading 2-0. They only played 4 minutes of injury time. The game finished 2-2. So as soon as Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores, I was thinking,
Do you know why Calvert-Lewin is your best friend right now?
Go for it.
Because he's going to keep Bamford out of going to the Euros, and that's going to save you $1,000.
God, yeah. It's going to save me $1,000. I was going to say, save you lot paying for a season ticket.
Hold on. No, I'm not paying for season ticket.
That's me.
What's the lady's name? Christine, was it?
Christina, yeah.
Christina, if you send us. Yeah, if you comment or send us or tweet us whatever your details and stuff, I'll get that Pickford stuff ready because he's going to get more than 10. So just send us all your details, what size you want the shirt in, whether you want home or away, and we'll sort it out for you.
Do you know what, Cotton? Rate that. Let's move on to another game. Why not? Why don't we talk about your lot? Edward, let's talk about those.
I was going to say I'm off.
Hey, we'll address you in a moment, Stephen Cotton. Liverpool 2, West Ham 1. Not all plain sailing. 4-0 scored after 10 minutes. Salah got a penalty. Was it a pen? Was it not? Jota thought he scored, was then chalked off, and then Jota did score, which I felt should have been chalked off. But Liverpool 2, West Ham 1. I'll come to Cotton first.
Gavin, do you think the second goal should be chalked off because Mano's interfering?
Yes, I do. But right, I think the first one that was chalked off should have stood. So I don't feel there was enough in there.
No. I agree with you. I think Mane's more interfering with play in the second one because even he puts his hands up, but the defender's marking him. because like trying to play him offside and whatnot. So even when the ball comes through and they score, you can see the defender looking at the ref, pointing, going, "Mate, I'm marking him."
He is literally in the line of Fabianski as that
ball and the ball as well.
So I'm sitting there thinking, well, that's been short off, and it wasn't even looked at in that way. And the fact, what worries me, the fact that Fabianski has to move to have a look because there is a man in his way who's in offside position tells you the whole story. But I don't think the one that was chalked off. I don't think there was enough in that to give a foul.
I don't think there was either. I think as well, like Liverpool deserved to win the game. Let's get that out there before people think we're saying they didn't. They fully deserved to win the game. Like you said, the first disallowed goal. Well, let's talk about the West Ham goal first. I saw people talking about saying, "Oh, Gomez is giving the ball away again. You can't be trusted." I think that's a really freak goal, man. Like it's pinged around the box and then someone smashed it. I honestly don't think you can really complain too much about that. Ed, what do you think?
Yeah, he did receive a lot of criticism, Joe Gomez, for that header. I do understand the criticism. He probably could have just hit that with his right foot, got it right out of the danger zone. But besides that one moment, Joe Gomez had a good game. But that's the criticism of Joe Gomez. At the moment, he's even got mistaken him. But
Ed,
he's a young defender.
Is that because they've been told to try and bring the ball down and play out from the box rather than just get rid of the ball? Is that why
that was just instinct. He just in that split second thought, I'm going to head this ball away. There was no tactical plan to that.
It was
to play out of the back. You got to remember that Liverpool are all about getting the ball out quickly to the attackers, but we don't play out from the back. It's all about that diagonal ball to the wingers.
It was really unfortunate, and it was like it was literally like a FIFA goal. Like it's hitting him in the back of the head, and it's dropped in front of him. He's pressed shoot, and it's gone bins. Like there's
brilliant. I'll be honest with you. I thought West Ham were really good. I thought Liverpool.
I thought they were good.
To say we deserved to win probably because we had more of the clear-cut chances. But this is something Liverpool have to get used to now. It was a carbon copy of the week before against Sheffield United. Go a goal down, Jota wins the game. When we needed to these points because to beat teams like West Ham and Sheffield United when you're not playing well is critical. But Liverpool have City and Leicester next.
Liverpool of old wouldn't have beat Sheffield United and West Ham playing like half decent. They wouldn't have done it. That would have been a draw.
What's Liverpool of old?
But what do you say? What's Liverpool of old?
Yeah, because Liverpool have been doing this, I reckon, for about 2 or 3 years now.
Oh no, I mean like when you were drawing to Palace and drawing to Burnley and stuff. I'm talking like more than 2 years ago. So like. Yeah. You know what I mean? You'd be grinding a result out against Burnley, you'd still draw it rather than scraping out the win, which you're doing now. You have done over the last 2 years. It's why Liverpool are so dangerous. That's why not only should you have won the league last year, you probably should have won the league the year before because you got that out of the system. You were grinding the results out against the teams you should be beating, whereas a few years prior to that, even under Klopp, you were drawing to Palace or scraping draws to Burnley sort of thing. One thing I do want to talk about, and I hope Gav's back for this.
I'm still here.
Okay, that's fine. I'm in two minds about this, but like 2 minds with the same decision, but even like I don't think it is the same decision, and that sounds like a teenage girl.
You are.
I think right, here we go. I think Salah has been touched. And Gav will say, one of our cliches on the show, not every contact is a foul. I honestly can see why you'd want a penalty. At the same time, I don't think it's a penalty, and I really think he's dived. And this is the first time in my life that I think I've ever agreed with Graham Souness. But I genuinely think there's contact there. Don't get me wrong, there's contact. Salah has gone down like Brock Lesnar has just come in and had his way with him. Let's go to Gav first, because I know what Ed's going to think about this. Gav, let me come to you first. What do you think about that penalty?
It's a penalty.
Ooh, girl.
When I first saw it, I was like, man, I can't believe you've given that, mate. That's bad. But it's kicked the bottom of his foot. How he's gone down is embarrassing. 100% embarrassing. But he's kicked the bottom of his foot. How
hard has he hit the bottom of his foot? He's barely touched him.
Yeah, but
Gav, I'm with you. I'm with you that he's kicked the bottom of his foot. Don't get me wrong. Like
I just think the way he's gone down is been a very bad sell. Very bad sell. Doesn't need to go down the way that. But that's what he does. He would throw himself on the floor to sell the penalty to the match official.
If there was no VAR,
a lot of players do.
Yeah,
but
if there's no VAR, I don't think that gets given, because I think that with Salah's theatrics, the way he goes down, if there was no VAR to check the clip on the back foot, I think referee sees him go down like that and goes, "Behave, mate."
Get out, mate.
Yeah,
I see that. I just think, he's kicked the bottom of his foot. I think I don't like the way he's gone down. I really don't. But
Edward, Edward, what are you saying?
I was so relieved when he gave the penalty. Can I just throw that one out there?
Masuaku needs to get sent off. We need to light a candle for Salah.
As a fan,
just 2 penalties as far as I'm concerned.
Let's light a candle. Let's pray. Let's pray for Salah.
Yeah, like air ambulance him out. But anyway, serious note. Like, I thought as a man, it was embarrassing, but. Yes. That is not a thing that's been introduced recently. That has been in our game now for 5 to 10 years. I think we're just hanging on to this.
15 to 20 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can name a long list of players who's played for every single one of our clubs which did the same thing, and we all loved and admired. I remember in recent history, Luis Suarez used to do it all the time. But that's what I remember
Robert Pires. We're about to lose our unbeaten run. Our unbeaten run in the unbeaten season. And Robert Pires, God, he went down like a sack of potatoes. So
and I hold on. And I also remember a certain Wayne Rooney on game 49 of Arsenal's 50.
Game 50, weren't it? Yeah, because he went down. That was. Do you know what? Right, I was talking to my mate Phil. I was talking to
Premier League years podcast.
I was talking to my mate Phil about it the other day, because he was like, I watched it back the other day. Mike Riley, is it? And I was thinking, I'm not going to watch it back. I've got enough going on. My baby don't kip at night. I want to be able to be happy at things, rather than worry and still moan and feel pain about that game 50, which Arsenal should have ground out. Anyway,
two questions.
Two questions, then we'll move on.
2 questions. Liverpool, are they currently still leading the pack for the league? Because I don't see anyone else actually putting in a shift.
There's loads of people putting a shift. Tottenham have just gone.
No, they'll drop off. People like West Ham.
Liverpool have so many problems at the back. People like Liverpool missing central defenders, which are critical.
Liverpool are still winning games.
Ed, your competition's City, man, and they look dross, man.
Liverpool beating you. Listen, like, you need to. Liverpool are in a bad place at the moment. They are still winning, which is perfect. But Liverpool's attack is started from the defence. You take that out, and mate, we're conceding every game. We've conceded more goals than anyone. I know we're still.
Do you know what?
We're going to play City and Leicester next. Very counter-attacking sides.
There was a stat that since Liverpool secured the league title, they've conceded more goals than any Premier League team.
Yes, that's correct.
And you're telling me that's a title-winning side? No team who concedes that many goals goes on to win the title.
This season looks like the season that we won it under Fergie for the last year, when no one else wanted it.
No one else wanted it. Bogle came round earlier on stage to watch the greatest game. Well, it wasn't the greatest game at all. To watch the Arsenal, but we'll talk about the game in a moment. And I said the same thing, Cotton. Liverpool, for me, this season, it's going to be that the 2012-13 season United won it, and the 2000-2001 season. Both those seasons it was painful to watch. All the teams were beating each other.
Dross.
And the thing is, difference was last season Liverpool did win some games really comfortably. Played some beautiful football.
Up until the last third of the season, they were just dominating European football, mate. But there's no other way about it.
The issue was that season, those 2 seasons that United won, it was a hard watch as well. So Yeah, it was
Liverpool
bad.
need to get to Christmas with all the injuries they've got, and then we'll assess what if Liverpool are still at the top of the table. Then I'll back them easily to win it.
Just before we
What's
move
the
on
other
from
question?
Liverpool, my other question was West Ham.
When does Nat Phillips get a knighthood? Was that?
Yeah, it was.
West Ham should be relegated for that penalty.
It was West Ham. Where do we see this story unfolding this season? Because I can't stand West Ham. They circle the drain every year. Drives me nuts.
They'll be mid-table this year. They'll be fine. They're all right.
What game are we going on to next? Because I really need to.
Oh well.
Don't make it United, or make it United, and I'll just go for a bit.
No, we're doing.
Or
I come prepared this time. I took my headphones off beforehand.
Good lad. It's probably all this time round. Tottenham 2, Brighton 1. It wasn't all plain sailing though, was it, for Tottenham?
Tottenham leave a lot of gaps at the back. You can't say Brighton weren't in the game for the full 90 minutes. I mean, when they equalised, I thought they could go on to win it. But before the Gareth Bale substitution paid off, Tottenham, I think, is going to be title challengers this year purely based on the consistency of everyone. I don't mean they're
challengers or top 4.
Title challengers. It's Jose Mourinho's second season. It all goes to pot next year, and I honestly believe that. Jose Mourinho looks like a guy. You can see him on the touchline. He is fighting for that title this year, and it's the best.
Just because I was in the toilet. Just because I was in the toilet doesn't mean I didn't hear that bullshit about Tottenham title challenges. I'm sorry.
No, I'm telling you,
Tottenham
if
top 4,
Tottenham are going to do it, it's going to be when everyone else has gone to pot.
Tottenham top 4, yes.
I
will say top 4.
Kane and Son are brilliant this year. You can't deny that.
No. Right. I would like to issue a public apology.
Again,
I don't even think I was that down.
I swear to God, Cotton comes out with some random stuff, honestly, to the point that he has to apologise all the time. Raul Jimenez.
No. I didn't. This way, I don't think I need to apologise because I wasn't that hard on Tottenham on their seasonal aspirations. I think I was pretty hard on them with now they're under Mourinho. And we did see some dire football. We saw some tragic stuff.
Some Eric Dyer football.
Yeah, some Eric Dyer football. And I said, this is what you get when you get Mourinho. But what you also get when you get Mourinho is what we got as well. Every now and then, the guy puts a run together. Now, I'm not saying they're not going to be title challengers. I think they'll definitely finish top 4 this year. I mean, they had the absolutely tragic results at Antwerp during the week where Mourinho chewed everyone out, made 4 changes at half time.
Under the bus.
Yeah, everybody under the bus. He put an Instagram post of him on the bus.
Yeah, by himself.
Yeah. So it's not all great and it's not all sunshines and rainbows, but it's also kind of the opposite of what's going on at United. We're doing well in Europe, terrible in the league, and Tottenham losing to Antwerp, but they're still in the league at the minute. They're so good. They are really good. And like Ed said, there's still glaring holes at the back for Tottenham. The defence is questionable to say the least.
It needs work.
Tottenham will come unglued. Tottenham will come unglued when they come against the big boys. When they play the big boys, and that's when
I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I think they'll put a performance in. Look what they did to Man City last season. And look how unfortunate they were against Liverpool. So I think against the big teams, I think they'll be all right. Now I feel really sorry for Brighton because Brighton have been great in every game they've played this season, and have walked away with pretty much nothing. What they got a point. In total this season, one win, 2 draws, and 4 defeats. But they have played their heart out for 90 minutes every game. They were unlucky against Chelsea. They were unlucky against Spurs. They were unlucky against United. I feel for them, and I really hope that they don't fall on the unlucky side of things and end up in that bottom three in place of one of the teams that we believe that are going to be down there. There's no disrespect to the three that we feel that are going to go down, but I worry for them, and I feel they might be put in a relegation battle. And there you go. Right then, let's move on. Let's move away from Tottenham. Tottenham, look, I'll be honest with you. I think you're going to end up top four, and I think you're going to end up above Arsenal, which is not easy to say. But Arsenal did win today, and that was Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. It's the first time that Arsenal have won a league game at Old Trafford since 2006. It's the first time Arsenal have actually beaten one of the big six away from home since January 2015. But Arsenal still failed to score at least 2 goals in a game away from home at Old Trafford. But what does it matter? You know, the last 3 1-0 wins have been fun. They've been wonderful for Arsenal.
Give me some Cotton. Go on, Cotton. I'm proud of you for turning out. But you said to me, if Man United lose to Arsenal, I'm not doing it. I'm not coming on. Yet here you are. Tell us what you thought. And you're muted.
It's going to go on big screen. Yeah, you are muted. Where are you, Cotton?
Cotton, Cotton, you can't get out of this one that easily.
Yeah. Cotton, mate, you're on big screen. It's your time to shine, son. Go on.
While we're waiting for Cotton to sort his audio, Gav, what did you think of the game?
It was an awful game to watch, mate.
It was.
It was an awful game to watch. What wound me up is that Arsenal didn't really play until the last 5 minutes of the first half. And I said it to my friend who was here, and I said to him, I was like, this is going to be typical Arsenal. We put all the pressure on towards the end of the first half and look really good. And then it's just going to start all over again when the second half begins. And there it was, languid, sideways. It was pretty shocking. But the game was decided by a penalty. And I don't understand what Paul Pogba was thinking. He's one-on-one with Hector Bellerin, who's going nowhere and away from goal. Why put a challenge in? Just stand him up. Don't need to give anything away.
He had a terrible game, though, didn't he, Paul Pogba? The moment Roy Keane said this is another opportunity for Paul Pogba to prove himself, because Paul Pogba looked really good against Leipzig, and then he played against Arsenal, and from minute one, he looked a car crash. I think, honestly, when he said we need a big performance out of Pogba, I knew we weren't going to get one. I say we, like I'm a United fan, but I meant as a spectator, I knew we weren't going to see one.
Look, it's a great result for Arsenal.
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna try and shy away from it. I did as well say, because I looked at Arsenal's opening fixtures at the beginning of the season, and I thought, wow, that is tough. You know, got City away, got
Liverpool. You beat Liverpool.
Got Liverpool away, got United away, and I was like, oh dear, what is going to happen? But I said, if Arsenal get 12 points out of that, I'll be a very happy man. Now, I thought today was going to be a defeat on that scale, but also thought that Arsenal were going to beat Leicester last weekend. So, on the whole, I'm happy, and it is forward progress. And luckily, at this stage, not like on a normal season, Arsenal would already be 10 points behind the league leaders.
Yeah.
But this time round, they're not. And you know, Liverpool are top, and Arsenal are only 4 points off them. So Arsenal are not going to win the league. Let's not. I'm not going to be stupid enough to even attempt to have that conversation. But I also did say at the beginning of the season that I feel that the top four. I did feel that Arsenal are going to be in that top four. I feel that the top four, regardless of how it ends now, will be very tight, and the difference of points at the end of the season between the team in first and the team in fourth will be no more than 12 points. I said that. So
yeah, you haven't because you had 6 points, I believe, when you lost to Liverpool, and then won the game straight after. So which was vital.
It was Sheffield United, yeah.
Usually, what Arsenal do after a good start is they lose one performance against a good side, and then they don't get back on the horse.
Mm.
And you won the game,
Like,
and then you fell short again. So
yeah. I mean, like, I look at the Leicester game from last week. I didn't get a chance to come on, obviously, because my kid's like
selfish,
2.5 weeks
selfish
old.
reason.
Yeah, exactly. Family comes first, which is a top family. Hence why I did a lot of work behind the scenes. Anyway, just throw that out there, But no, I was really disappointed that Arsenal didn't come out with something from that game, because for the first half, Arsenal were the dominant force, and they looked balanced. They looked great. And as soon as Vardy came on, Arsenal got scared. And then as soon as Mustafi came on, we knew what way it was going to go. There was no point of having any more of a conversation.
Boys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Before we go
Right.
to you, Cotton, I just wanted to mention a comment from Dev Badger. Dev, we all frigging love you, man. Yes, look at that. We've got your book, mate. We got your book. Go out there, and before we carry on, I just want to say, go out there and buy Dev's book. It's available on Amazon. Me and Ed are both mugs because we had to pay full price for it. But if you go on Amazon now, you get 15% off, which is absolutely wonderful. Dev, he says he's a Man United fan. We lacked so much finesse today. Arteta's system was better than ours, and the game plan worked. Yes, it did. The game plan did work from Arsenal, but the issue is that where were United today?
7 points, man. 7 points. You know, they're already 9 points off first place. I know they wasn't good in for the title, but that's not somewhere you want to be this early on in the season. They'll be seriously concerned. It looks like they're stepping back again. Get top 4 and then make backwards progress. What do you think of Solskjaer, Gav? Do you think he'll live the season out?
It's not his fault what's going on out there. It really isn't. I mean, like, you can't be calling for his head after he's just got victories against PSG, back-to-back victories against PSG. I don't think any manager has done that outside like the French league. Back-to-back victories. He's just beaten the team that are top of the league in Germany 5-0. You know, so look, I think he's being made scapegoat a lot. But
What is the problem then?
Balance in the squad. He's trying to get Pogba and Fernandes in the team. He needs to drop one of them, and it's going to be it's a difficult decision as to which one to do. The back 4/back 5 needs to be looked at. You know, I look at that PSG game, and Tuanzebe was an absolute beast. Now, is he carrying an injury? What's going on? We don't know. But I look at the next few fixtures for Man United in the league now after the international break. No! Just before the international break, they go to Goodison Park. And Everton, they've lost their last 2, so they're going to want to bounce back, and they're playing against United in the early kickoff. They then got, after the international break, they've got West Brom. They've got West Brom at home, which should be 3 points. You know, they've got Southampton away, who are in wonderful form. West Ham away. West Ham have been, you know, we expect them to lose every single game, but they keep getting something out of games. Unfortunately, they didn't do anything at the weekend. And then Man City at home. You know, so this is going to be a very, very tough period for Man United. And, you know, I don't think they need to make any managerial changes. But if they do, they need to do it now. But I don't think they should.
So can you boys hear me?
Yes. We can hear you. We can't hear you.
I don't know what... Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't know what all of a sudden changed. But yeah.
Man United did.
Yeah, today's game, I saw it coming a mile off. The minute we have any sort of decent performance in Europe or decent performance in any sort of game or any sort of form until we come up against someone that we have a track record against, you know, it's going one way. Gav, I said to you before, like today, I knew which way this was going. My bets showed you which way I thought this was going.
That doesn't mean anything. You always bet against Man United.
I thought it was pretty evenly matched up until the point that Pogba decided to just literally 2-foot someone from behind. They're literally like 5 meters away from the ball. Like,
it's such a dumb foul to make.
Yeah, that Pogba challenge. Like, what on earth is he thinking?
He's thinking, get me to Real Madrid. That's what he's thinking.
But has it got to the? But the thing is, Solskjaer will now be, because we've lost to Arsenal. Yeah, people are going to forget that in the last 2 weeks we've beaten the Champions League finalists and Champions League semi-finalists, and all that's going to matter is now we've lost to Arsenal 1-0 because of a penalty. But that's all that's going to matter. And if people are reactionary and they're saying Solskjaer out, this, that, and the other, it's mad. Look at the Prem table. Yeah, okay, we're now in like almost relegation fodder, right? Let's not forget this time last season we were in those same positions, and then we finished third. Like, people were calling for Solskjaer's head this time last season when after this amount of games we were literally in the relegation zone, and he still turned it around. We got to a European semi-final, FA Cup semi-final, and we finished third. Let's not react too much over this. I think Pogba was horrid. Yes, he was. Pogba was absolutely dross. Again. Which is, when people say about, everyone keeps taking the piss out of Donny van der Beek being like, oh, he didn't come here for this. Mate, Van der Beek's going to be playing a lot more games than Pogba is this season on that sort of performance. And I just think it's... honestly, I feel bad for Solskjaer because I'm telling you now, I'll call this now. He shouldn't. But Solskjaer's going to get the chop before Christmas because we're not going to be top 3. Alex, do not even come at me with this as an Arteta masterclass. He's literally baiting for comments.
Alex, bro.
Yeah,
Alex, bro, I love you, man. But come on, man. It's not a masterclass. The game was dead.
Yeah,
absolute dead game of football. You know, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the Arsenal victory. Very, very happy. But I ain't about that masterclass life, man.
It weren't a masterclass. It was decided because Pogba decided to chop someone down from behind for absolutely no reason. Dead decision from a dead guy. Get him out of the club.
So the comment was, this is an Arteta masterclass. Surprised Ollie with a higher press and then deployed in previous big away games, and it was 1-0, but it really should have been 2 or 3 with better finishing, better decision making. I mean, like they didn't make Leno work, so I do think that it should have been a clean sheet for Arsenal. I really do.
I
wouldn't say a masterclass in a.
I'll tell you what I will say quickly before we move on from this game. It is funny how he's used the term masterclass. Where in the last few weeks there's been talks about Arteta not being good enough for Arsenal and his tactics being absolutely dead.
I've stood by that from the beginning. By the way, it's been well documented that I don't think Arteta is the right man for Arsenal. It's very well documented. I've said that. So, we've got one more game to talk about. We've gone over time, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. What's gone here?
It's a good job you brought this up.
I've absolutely mugged off the graphic there as well. By the way, Burnley 0, Chelsea 3. Let's remove that because it looks awful. Listeners, don't worry about it.
No, that was me.
Do you know what? Fair play, because I stood there. I stood there and took the blame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I do, man.
I did the graphics this week, folks.
I'll look out for the squad. Do you know what I mean? I'll take responsibility for stuff. Yeah, it's crap cotton. Burnley 0, Chelsea 3. Goals from Ziyech, Zuma, and Werner. Now, what made me laugh about this game is that before the game, I saw the team sheets, and Werner started the game on the bench. And everyone's going, Werner's been dropped. You know, Werner's not good enough. This, that, and the other. Oh, sit the hell down. You can't play every game. It's as simple as that. You know, football teams have squads. You don't just have 11. You know. So let's. Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't meant to release that one. That's meant to be coming out in my next edition. So look, it's great to see Ziyech get some minutes properly, start a game, and bag. It really is.
Mate, Ziyech is so good. He's so good, man. He should be playing that in behind the striker role more than Havertz, man. Ziyech is a god, but because he's Moroccan rather than being Ed, I'm telling you, you look how he look how he wrecked the Champions League last year. Literally made Real Madrid look like they were boys. If Ziyech was German or Italian rather than being Moroccan, I'm telling you, he's way more up there. He's way more up there.
I think it's more of a case he went from Ajax. He wasn't the standout player in that Ajax team. He was one of. He wasn't the. And then he's moved from Ajax to Chelsea. It's kind of like a sideways step.
No, he was the standout at Ajax last year. He was the best player there by a mile.
What about the year where they got to the semi-final?
Yeah, because they had like Frankie De Jong, you know.
Come on. Because let's not forget he was injured for a long period.
De Ligt.
De Ligt especially. De Ligt was probably the main man in truth. He was the poster boy for that. But yeah, Chelsea will be very happy with this. A clean sheet as well as the 3 goals.
5 and 6. 5 and 6 clean sheets now. You know, Mendy's kept 3 clean sheets on the spin.
Krasnodar, how do you pronounce it?
Yeah, I was going to say, listen, it's very easy when you're playing Krasnodar and Burnley don't have a shot on target to start padding with how many clean sheets.
No. And the reason why that doesn't stand is because if you look at just basics from West Brom. They played against West Brom, they were 3-0 down. So it doesn't matter who you play against, you just got to stop the ball from going in the back of the net. And that's exactly what's happened here. And it has done over the last 5 games. Oh, I know. Hey, look, I'm just trying to cliche. I'm just trying to cliche my way through life. It's either cliches or dad jokes. Which one do you want? You know, I'd rather stick with the cliches.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
You're a dad now as well, so you've got an excuse.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, Chelsea look pretty. One thing I did enjoy from Burnley is that they made a substitution, and it was a tactical change. So therefore, Sean Dyche isn't just about that 4-4-2 life, and he can actually think outside the box and look for alternatives. It didn't work. Don't worry about it. But it's just the fact that he's got options to think about now. The issue is, they've got no creativity. The most creative player plays wide left, and they've tried to play him in behind in Dwight McNeil, and it's just not worked for him. So to stay out wide left, look at getting someone who's creative who could play in behind. Brownhill can't do that work. You know, Court can't do that work. And then yeah, I think Burnley will be fine.
Gav, is Jay Rodriguez injured again?
No, he's just come back.
I was going to say, because Jay Rodriguez is their most creative player, but he hardly plays, does he?
They just don't score enough goals. They've scored 3 goals so far out in their 6 games. They are bottom of the league at the moment, but I don't think there should be any panic. They will be fine.
Mate, they've done it for 10 years in a row. They've been there before, been there, done it. They'll grind out some awful 1-0s. They'll be fine. It's the clubs that haven't done it before. Sheffield United are going to be in trouble. Fulham and West Brom are going straight back down. There's no worry about
that. Quick score predictions then, boys. Ed, Fulham versus West Brom.
Christ. 1-1. So happy this is the early kickoff. Hopefully, I'll just be travelling back from work.
I'll be at work.
Yeah. He's not even meant to be in. He's just said he's going to turn up. I'm not, I mean, if there was a game I didn't want to watch this weekend, it was always going to be Fulham West Brom. But regardless, this is a game which you'd probably consider a 6-pointer. Fulham, I'd probably back to lose this game. They look toothless. West Brom at least have shown some good attacking qualities this season. So I'm probably going to have to go with West Brom. 2-1.
Cotton?
I'm going West Brom. I'm going West Brom as well. Might even go both teams to score, but I'm with Ed. Fulham, even with Mitrovic, who's barely featured this season through injury or whatnot, I think they look way worse than West Brom. West Brom have had a few games, the Chelsea game and stuff, where they've looked good going forward. I think they've got that at least going for them. So I think West Brom win here.
I can see I can see West Brom win as well. Look, end of the day, no one with Tim Ream in their squad deserves to be in the Premier League. Simple as
Yeah.
that. I've said it for a number of years now as well.
Tim Ream.
Tim
Jesus.
Ream, how is professional football? I don't know. No offense to you. You're probably a lovely person, but I don't think you're a very good defender, Tim. Anyway, Leeds versus Leicester is the evening game. I'm really looking forward to this game. I really am. Cotton.
I'll be at work, but I'll tell you, again, gamble responsibly, kids. Do whatever. Both teams to score is probably not even any decent money anyway. But I think it's going to be a barnstormer. I think it's two teams that they prefer to attack than defend. And I think it's going to be watch this be 0-0. I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
This is going to be the 0-0, and it's Fulham West Brom that's going to end up 4-3. Best game of the season so far.
Yeah. Leeds Leicester I see being a high scoring affair, I think. But by the way that both teams play football.
Ed.
2-2. 2-2. Simple as
Desmond.
that. Just because I can't commit to one side. If I see 1-1, 2-1, either way, I could see that. So I'm going to go 2-2, save my ass, and that's really knowledgeable.
I think there's goals in that game though.
Yeah, there's got to be goals, surely there has to be. And also, since lockdown, we've seen more goals than ever before in the Premier League, which is why it is the second best league in the world, behind the Bundesliga. Anyway, so thanks for watching, thanks for listening. You'll be able to listen back to us on Spotify or Apple Music or on Google Play, whichever your podcast provider is. Just search 2 Up Top Football. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/2 Up Top Football. And did you know if you put 2 Up Top into Google, our name comes up first?
And did you know if you like this video, it will appear in more places so more people can enjoy our beautiful content?
And did you know, seeing as that was Halloween, if you say 2 Up Top 5 times in front of the mirror, all 3 of us will appear and hit you over the head with football knowledge.
T-shirt with your name on it.
Yeah, we'll all appear at your house if you don't subscribe to the channel. So please subscribe. But for myself, Gav Mack, it's great to be back. Ed Hall and Stephen Cotton, thank you and goodbye.